My stepdad wanted to kick me out to make space for the baby, however little did he know that I was the owner of the house and now they are panicking. I'm a 19-year-old guy, and I've been living with my mom and stepdad for the past 3 years. Things have been tough lately, and I really need some advice. My mom got married to my stepdad when I was 16. At first, everything seemed okay. He was nice enough when we all hung out together, but I noticed he acted different when it was just the two of us. He'd make little comments about how I was lazy or not helping out enough around the house. I tried to ignore it and just do my best to stay out of his way. As time went on, things got worse. When my mom wasn't around, he'd criticize everything I did. He'd complain about the way I did chores, the music I listened to, even the way I dressed. Nothing was ever good enough for him. I tried talking to my mom about it a few times, but she always brushed it off. She'd say things like, "Oh, he's just trying to help you become more responsible," or, "I'm sure he doesn't mean it that way." The real problem started about 6 months ago when my mom found out she was pregnant. My stepdad was over the moon about it. He started talking about all these plans for the baby's room and how excited he was to be a dad. I was happy for my mom, but I couldn't help feeling left out. That's when the lies started. My stepdad began telling my mom all these stories about things I supposedly did wrong. He'd say I was staying out late when I wasn't or that I was being disrespectful to him, which wasn't true. I tried to defend myself, but it was always his word against mine. My mom seemed confused and didn't know who to believe. Last week, my stepdad announced that he wanted to remodel the house to make a nursery for the baby. He started talking about knocking down walls and rearranging rooms. I didn't think much of it at first, but then things took a turn I never expected. 2 days ago, my mom sat me down for a talk. She looked uncomfortable and wouldn't meet my eyes. She said, "Honey, you're 19 now, and you're becoming a man. We think it might be time for you to get your own place." I was shocked. I stammered something like, "What? Why? Did I do something wrong?" She rushed to reassure me, No, it's not that. It's just, well, with the baby coming, we need the space, and you're old enough now to be on your own. It'll be good for you to learn some independence." I could tell by the way she was talking that this wasn't her idea. My stepdad was standing in the doorway, arms crossed with this smug look on his face. That's when I knew he had put her up to this. I tried to argue, to explain that I wasn't ready to move out. I'm still in community college, and I work part-time at a local grocery store. There's no way I can afford my own place right now. But my mom just kept repeating that it would be good for me and that I needed to grow up. The worst part came when my stepdad chimed in. He said, "You've got 2 days to find a place. We need to start the remodeling soon, and we can't have you underfoot while we're trying to get ready for the baby." 2 days? How am I supposed to find a place to live in 2 days? I don't have any savings, I don't know the first thing about renting an apartment, and I don't have anyone I can stay with. All my friends still live at home, too. I spent all of yesterday in a daze. I couldn't focus at work, and I kept making mistakes. My boss noticed and asked if everything was okay. I just mumbled something about family problems and tried to pull myself together. When I got home, I overheard my mom and stepdad talking in the kitchen. My stepdad was saying something about how it was about time I moved out and how I was holding them back. My mom sounded unsure, but he kept talking over her, saying things like, "You've got to cut the cord sometime," and, "He'll thank us for this later." I wanted to burst in there and tell them both off, but I knew it wouldn't do any good. My stepdad has my mom wrapped around his finger, and anything I say will just be twisted and used against me. So now I'm sitting here in my room, trying to figure out what to do. I've got less than 24 hours to come up with a plan, and I'm completely lost. I can't afford an apartment, I don't have any relatives nearby who could take me in, and I'm not even sure how to start looking for a roommate situation.